Hey guys, hope you're having a fantastic new year. Today I'm showing off my latest project, the NX-01 Enterprise. This was a bit of a doozy to put together. As anyone who built this model knows, it is a small model. I'll put side-by-side comparison shots of the Defiance, roughly about that size. But like I do with all my models, I was determined to light this. The saucer was not a big deal. It's about the same size as the refit Constitution I got sitting back here, just hanging out. But the nacelles, dear God, I don't know even where to begin. Initially, I thought I would be able to put light strips in there, LED strips. Didn't work. So I had to take a bunch of, I think they're called 0603 size LEDs. They're really small. I actually used them a few times before on the Excelsior for the back impulse, the hangar deck area for the windows. And I also used a few of them for the fiber optics on the USS Voyager. So I had to link 4 of those together and all throughout this nacelle, squeeze those in, put a 1.8 millimeter LED for the Bazaar collectors. And I actually bought a whole bunch of those because of the smallest ones I could find that are already pre-resisted. The 0603 ones are not pre-resisted, so I had to link 4 of them together through the nacelle, and then I had to link the resistor all the way at the other end. There's a lot of kind of pass-through work. The formation lights I got here for the strobe and the navigation, I originally thought I was going to be able to put those 1.8 millimeter bulbs in there. Turns out I was wrong, not enough room. So I have fiber optics snaked through the pylons to bulbs in the camerans in here. So just putting it together was a bit of a challenge for the nacelles. That seems to be my weak point for these models. Voyager was a challenge for me, and this one was. The other challenge was this center warp field governor here, because this part right here is 2 pieces. However, the pylons here connecting the governor to the impulse engines, that's all 1 piece. So there is actually wires exposed on the top that are painted over to allow for the lights in the, I doubt it's an impulse crystal, but if it is, it's an impulse crystal in the warp field governor. And then there's a strobe underneath on the bottom. As I figured out, once I put all the final pieces together, the piece here, I must have knocked something loose, because when I started testing the electrics after I put the TenaControl board in here, I noticed that the light blocking or whatever I did in here now didn't work anymore. So now, while this does have a blue 0603 bulb in there, just like the warp nacelles do, it had a white 0603 LED in there to provide the strobe that was completely light blocked, and I was certain it was light blocked, but I must have when I put this down, I must have broke something in there. So now it does glow blue, but now it unintentionally flashes at the same time. Not the biggest deal, but I mean, I was fairly certain I got this model as perfect as possible. So I painted this with Aztec masks from Aztec Dummy. I bought these because I couldn't find the Aztec decals in production anymore for the NX-01. So I decided to just do my own. I mixed up a base coat and the Aztec coat. I even mixed up, because I didn't have any gold paint on hand, I mixed up like copper and silver to do the gold accents I got here. And then I got the copper and all that. So there's also, these windows were a challenge to drill out. I noticed that anyone who attempted to light this little model before, I noticed they didn't exactly get the windows. I got them done, and I can't tell you how many 0.5 millimeter drill bits I broke in the process, just one of them. I actually had to buy another one of these kits because, strangely enough, when I put this together, this little window sliver right here wasn't included. There was a duplicate of the other side window slits for that side, so I had to buy another model kit just to replace that part. But overall, detail, everything, I think I'm the most pleased with this model than I am with any other model. Like, I usually can point out some paint flaws, you know, that's usually my biggest thing. But in this case, I think I got it as close to as perfect as possible. Like I mentioned, this thing does have a TenaControl board, just like the Enterprise A. So we'll have the navigation and strobes. So allow me to quit dawdling and switch to showing you the lights. All right, here we have her in her lighted glory. So not only did I do the navigation and strobes, I also did the spotlights essentially here around the front, imitating the lights for the Enterprise. So the cargo bays, spotlights here, along in the bottom here, and the sensor dome, of course. So everything I thought to light up on this kit, I basically did it. So you got the formation lights here, and these are the control board I'm using. It's I believe it's called the multi-mission timing control board. So with the refit Enterprise, you would have it switch to this one here. I think it's like the refit Enterprise, then it's like the Enterprise D, then the JJ Prize, and then the TOS Enterprise. So this one has it on the TOS setting. If you compare the lights I have here to the lights I have on the Enterprise A, the difference is that the navigations are on probably about twice as long, while the strobes are on just a little bit faster. And as you can see, you can tell the problem I have here with the glowing part. I got it to, you know, glow, but now it's got an unfortunate flash in the center as well, but I can live with that. Got these glowing parts here as well, the blue parts. That was just, you know, painting these clear parts blue. Of course, the warp nacelles. Don't know how well because the camera usually is really good at finding where the LEDs are. You could probably see some here, one here, and right through here, but at least there's enough light distribution on here. I also, sadly, I think the Bazaar collectors are gonna blow them out, and I may not have scraped them off too much. I should have light coming through back here on these impulse engines, along with these impulse engines. And then let me tilt this back so you can see the flashers a bit better. So you see the ones on the back of the warp nacelle, the one behind the bridge, and the one right underneath on that warp field governor. So outside of that, the decals were very, very, very minimal. Like I think there are like less than 20 decals, I want to say. The box art shows it here. Like, I didn't do anything to the mirror. It has markings for if you did the NX-02 Columbia, and of course if it has parts for the unreleased season 5 concept of the refit NX-01. I just chose to do the standard one, not because I thought it was any easier, because, you know, I grew up with this ship. You know, I enjoyed its more simplistic appearance during the show. So I decided just to do that. I'll go ahead and just turn that light off completely so you can just see everything in low light, because I never do this. Let's just bring it around. You got a little bit of light. You can't probably see it in the camera, but with my eyes, I can see a tiny bit of illumination on the registry, which is exactly what I want. The cargo bay is all lit up. Strangely, the starboard side one seems to be a little more lit up than the port side one. Here's on the bottom, but yeah, I am so happy with how everything came out on this ship. Let me turn the light back on. So interestingly enough, I actually had a toy of this model when the show initially came out in 2001. I actually had this Art Asylum NX-01 Enterprise. It's quite a bit, if I just pull the camera back, it's quite a bit bigger than the 1/1000 scale Enterprise refit. I dug it out recently. It's yellowed quite a bit on the top compared to the bottom, but I had pulled this out just to kind of use it as a little bit of an Aztec reference, because the Aztec dummies came with extra decals. I replaced the batteries. So all that still works. Impulse engines glow too. It's got like one light. So like this little, not so little toy, I was like 20 years old and I thought this was the most detailed thing I can get of the NX-01, and then I decided to just create my own. So I found that to be a wonderful little juxtaposition. I started this right after the Enterprise A, of course. My husband and I are watching the entirety of Star Trek right now, so I started this right when we were finishing Enterprise, the show. Right now we're watching Discovery. Maybe I'll do those ships, because I know there's a Discovery version of the NCC 1701 Enterprise. The only trouble is that I know that ship is way larger than it should be. They scaled up every ship they put into that show, much to my dismay, and that just screws that up, because my favorite ship now is smaller than what the actual Enterprise is, and if it's all in canon, then something is going to happen where the ship shrinks. So either they're going to retcon my favorite ship, or they're going to shrink down that Enterprise and maybe the Discovery herself, because that ship is long in comparison to any other ship of that era. But enough rambling about this. That I am more or less done rambling about this. I'll of course post beauty shots of the ship next to all my other ships. I'll post everything that I did with the ship. As you'll see, the saucer is just packed to the brim with just all wires. I actually added an LED strip here, and here, because there is a ring of LEDs in the center. But as I realized with the Enterprise A, the more wires I packed in there, of course, more light got blocked. So I learned my lesson from that time, and I made sure to get those LED strips in there this time, so that there's a lot more light distribution, and thankfully all the windows are lit up at this point. So yeah, that's it, and I will see you all in the next one.